My name is Tuhi Martukaw. It's my traditional name, and my Chinese name is洪简廷卉. I'm from the Gazabagan community. Both of my parents are teachers, and also my grandfather, from my father's side. When I was little, he always told me that there are three kind of people he doesn't like the most. First, journalist. Second, politician. Third, lawyer. So I didn't go on the path of a lawyer, but I was I was journalist, and then now I'm in politics. But still, my grandfather was like, he was shocked at first, but then he's proud of me. So I was born in Taitung in my community, but I was took to Taipei around 3 or 4 for kindergarten, and then I spent most of my life in Taipei. I still say that because as indigenous, we still have this very strong bond with the family and of course to the land. I always feel very lucky that I got the chance to really walk in these two different worlds. And also, when I was little, I always felt that it's a parallel world, the world in the community and also the world in Taipei, in the city. Once I grew up, I tried to make this relationship and also this tie with the community even stronger. I realized actually it's not two worlds, it's not parallel. It's just this system make it parallel. But for us as indigenous youth of this modern time, but we are really connecting these two worlds.
那在成长的过程当中，其实因为我们只差1岁半而已，所以我们的相处算是非常非常密切。对于文化传承或者是在部落做一些事情，就是觉得很重要。可是就会觉得说自己既然是这个部落的一份子，是不是也是可以做些什么
So PFII is the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. It's like a very big conference. It will gather indigenous representatives from around the world. The first time I went to PFI was when I was 21 in university. I didn't really know what would be discussed there, and I was not really so aware of the indigenous rights and also the indigenous rights movement in Taiwan. But that was the very first time that I encountered all these different indigenous peoples around the world, how they evolve in their daily lives regarding their rights. You know, for us in Taiwan, when we were younger, the education taught us behave, be quiet, don't be different. You should not stand out. Because as indigenous, we already look different. We should blend in. But at United Nations, that's totally different. It's so encouraging to be different. It's so encouraging to wear our own traditional attires. I still remember the first time I was there, I was wearing a suit. And I feel so weird there because I thought that's something formal. I thought I would blend in to wear something like that as a more like, official person or something. But then the others, they all wear their traditional attires and very proud of that. That was something really never come to my mind. And that was the very first time I realized that we can so be proud to be different from other people. The first time there, I still remember, I really cannot talk about anything about indigenous peoples in Taiwan. Even though at that time we already have the indigenous peoples basic law that is already adopted in Taiwan, and people were asking me about that. And they were asking me about the history of the indigenous peoples in Taiwan. I really cannot say anything because I really didn't know at that time. I can tell them about the history of the civil war between KMT and Chinese Communist Party. I could tell them the story, but I cannot tell them my own story. So that's also something really shocked me at that time. I realized that actually I know nothing about myself. I would say especially for the young people in the community, that's something we're trying to do too, to equip them with the knowledge and also the traditional practice we have from our culture. We come up with this idea to establish like a group. I invited some of the youth. We are trying to network with our local communities, but also link this network to the international world. And so that's why we choose this name, and then we establish Lima Taiwan Indigenous Youth Working Group.
当时我接青年会长的时候啊，对啊，就是我们对部落有很多的想法，对，然后就有廷会的协助跟一个带领，就是让我们年轻人有一种不一样的一个视野跟一个窗口。
I think we come to a next step of democracy is that we should realize that democracy can have different forms. It's not only about voting. Of course, voting is one important way to collect different ideas. And with that, we can be more confident that even though we don't really like to vote, but that doesn't mean that the way how we make consensus is not democratic. I think when we talk about democracy, it's very important to come back to the root of that. For me, the root of democracy is respect. So including to respect different forms of making decisions.